Ladies and gentlemen, I myself, and I think many of you are probably wondering what in the world is going on with AMC stock and why are they making these decisions after decisions that seem to be going against their shareholders and are now even cautioning investors to purchase their own stock that they just got approved to put into their common stock. We're talking about the 40 million shares that they are trying to sell. And then they come out with these cautionary advisements saying that, hey, AMC is very speculative this year and has a lot of volatility. So where's the attractiveness in that? And especially with AMC hitting record lows, what's the future direction for the company? And can anybody save it? Now, I think it's important to really look at AMC, take a look at its history and where it is now. You got to think this was one of the biggest stocks in 2020-21 when we had it basically coined as one of the original meme stocks along with GameStop. And it had a lot of trendiness behind it, really building up a strong and a loyal fan base in terms of its shareholders and really going through some high price fluctuations. Now, after all that has kind of settled and we sit here towards the end of 2023, nearly entering 2024, where's the future direction for this? And especially, why are they making the decisions that we see now? If you know the answer, please leave it down in the comments. Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Hit that like button and subscribe, but do your own research, of course, too, before making an investment decision. But AMC at $8.12. You got to think this is after the 10-for-1 reverse stock split. And this meant if you basically had 10 shares, now you got one. And this what changes and converts this to a actual reverse stock adjusted price. This changes this to 81 cents and in the after hours at 78 cents, basically down over with 5.8% in the day and 3% in the after hours. You have AMC at record lows. So especially with their agreements, like I said, to sell up to that 40 million shares of its own common stock that allows it to sell up to 390 million new common stock worth about 3.4 billion. I understand that they're trying to raise cash liquidity, but then why do they caution investors against buying the shares in its filing and highlighting the fluctuations in its price in the trading volumes this year that its stock is highly speculative and involves risk? If a company is trying to raise money and trying to raise cash balances, hence the reason for converting these APE units into the common stock and getting this approved through the court process and then trying to raise liquidity, talking about they're trying to refinance, repay off loans. Why did they then come out here and caution investors? And it's interesting to see here, especially as AMC stocks continue to plunge. And we saw it down basically now over 40% in just the last few days after a lot of this news has really been bringing a negative connotation to the shareholders. And the shareholders, I think, are one of the foundational parts of people that do love AMC. Specifically with that coming up here, the question is, talking about the Eras Tour. This was a tour that's going to be coming, the Taylor Swift Tour, October 13th to AMC. This shattered records for pre-ticket sales and will be coming out it will likely bring lots of revenue to AMC. But is it enough to save it? That's the big question. Currently, right now, where AMC is standing in terms of its current sell-off, I don't know if it is. And especially looking at the options right here, you can see AMC has tons of options volatility, especially around the current strike price. Let's look into next week. And if you see next week here around that current strike price, lots of options volatility, people betting and putting puts that it's going to go down even further. But also on the flip side, you do have people on the bullish perspective trying to think that AMC will eventually hit a swing here, and people, of course, are going to start talking about the short squeeze. Now, I think for the short squeeze, it's important to really understand what that means, how shorted AMC needs to be again, what kind of trading volume we need to come in, and the actual opportunity that AMC could have ahead of itself. Now, sitting at its current price, it is interesting, and it could be subject to high volatility, especially with trading volumes at around 50 million right now. There's a lot of trading action that is occurring. But the future of AMC is uncertain. So I do agree that it is highly speculative in nature. But the question is, what will be the future for AMC? And especially if there could be possibly a short squeeze, I think a lot more information needs to be analyzed before we can make a clear judgment call on that, even talking about its possibility. Right now, what I think is more important is for AMC to really get itself on its feet and try to price in, which is what's happening right now, the dilution of the new shares that are coming into its common stock? And is there any other way that the fan base or the shareholders can be repaid, because they're the one that is getting the short end of the stick right now? Just in terms of raise some cash balance, I do understand that AMC is in a bit of a pinch and to avoid bankruptcy. But how is it going to get out of this hole? I want to know, what are your guys' suggestions? What do you think AMC is going to do here in the future? And I want to keep you guys updated. So like, comment, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.